No carbonless solution exists for visual artists anywhere. For New York artists, no matter the choice of medium, one thing is certain: it won't impact New York City landfills because they no longer exist. For City Newsroom, I'm Christine Stoddard. Welcome to Christine Stoddard's New York. This episode, I'm bringing you to the historic Sears Roebuck & Co. building in Flatbush, Brooklyn. It's pretty stunning. Let's take a look. New York State has a new uncontested divorce process. It's super streamlined. Less time. Good evening, I'm Christine Stoddard. Thank you for being with us. Una demanda presentada para detener las deportaciones ordenadas por el presidente Donald Trump. And now we have a scene from The Tempest. We have two trained Shakespearean actors who are performing off-book. And then we have Aaron, who told me he read The Tempest once in high school. Hello, you are watching or listening to Badass Lady Folk. I'm your host, Christine Stoddard, and this episode, my guest is Laura. Hi.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So you are an actress, a comedian, a TikToker extraordinaire, and a donor-conceived advocate.
Perfect.
What does that mean?
So absolutely.
How did the bagpipe even come to be? What is it? Well, you've been watching Christine Stoddard's New York. It's getting a little festive, shall we say, here at Coney Island. Every week, Ibrahim Ayu gathers at Sunday school and shares his struggles as a formerly incarcerated person with a mental health diagnosis.
So that's just a personal example.
2 years ago, while on parole, Ayu attacked a police officer. At the time, he hadn't been taking his medication for bipolar disorder.
It looked very dire for me. A lot of my lawyers told me that I was going to do at least 7 years incarceration, so it was definitely a trying time.
Instead, a defense attorney and a district attorney referred him to mental health court. A social worker and psychiatrist determined that Ayu had serious mental illness, but wasn't a public safety threat. He was put on a treatment plan and told that if he followed through, he wouldn't go to prison.
And it was a total change because instead of trying to punish me and trying to, make me feel as though I was less than or other than, the goal of the court was mainly to show me that they wanted me to be a part of the community.
Mental health advocates want state legislators to pass the treatment, not jail bill. It would set up more mental health courts across the state, which could help over 3,500 people each year receive treatment instead of a prison sentence. Roughly half of the people incarcerated in New York struggle with mental illness. Critics worry that mental health courts don't have enough supervision or accountability.
We need to make sure that we have guardrails, make sure that the people that are amenable to treatment are getting into the treatment programs, getting the treatment they need, and those that pose a threat to public safety, we need to hold them accountable so that other people aren't hurt or victimized in the community.
Ayu says he's reached this point in his life directly due to mental health court.
But mental health court switched the whole paradigm, and it worked.
Today, Ayu gives back as a pastor and through empowering families through his nonprofit, the Nat Turner Rebel Development Organization. In Brooklyn, Christine Stoddard, CJS News. The founder of Theater for the New City in the East Village hits a milestone birthday this year. Crystal Field, who's run the theater for 53 years, does so much for the community. She puts on dozens of shows a year and creates a home for indie artists in New York City and beyond. Plus, she produces free street theater, hosts community dinners, turns a space into a polling station, uses the lobby as an art gallery, and more. Let's take a look.
She really is the baddest motherfucker on the planet. She is.
That she'll always be like, well, it's not just me, but a lot of it is her. She is the heartbeat of this theater.
She says, Emily, if I built this theater to be rich, I would have been rich, but that's not why I built this theater. I built this theater for the community and for the love of the artists and for the playwrights.
The great teller of the future, Madam Know-It-All!
Madam Know-It-All, that's his love name for me. That's not my real name.
No.
I started the theater
in 1971. The East Village has prospered because when we first came here, it was a very poor section, and it has changed. But it's still a very creative and forward-looking part of New York City, and I'm very proud to be in this part of New York City.
We are a 4-theater complex, and we specialize in new works and emerging writers. Crystal's very heavy into community and neighborhood. She always wants the neighborhood involved because she believes theater is really important and should be a part of everyday life. And that's why her tickets are so low. You know, a lot of us are like, oh, Crystal, please hire it. Honestly, her tickets are $18, and just recently we've got her to change it to $20. And we're like, come on, Crystal, they don't want to break a 20. I'm like, Crystal, movie tickets are like $25 now. She's like, no, I'm keeping my tickets low because theater is a necessity.
Her artistic taste is the work has to be socially relevant. That's probably her biggest thing she's always looking for whenever we get in a new piece.
I come from that part of the Jewish religion that doesn't believe in legacy. We don't believe in material wealth. We don't believe in material existence.
Everybody since I don't know what age has asked me what's going to happen when she goes. And first of all, what a terrible question. But what are you supposed to say? You know, if not her, then who? A lot of people are really anxious about that, including herself, you know, and that's why she is having me work here now, and my father, and the board is very involved. Her personal interest of still being here than just retiring is because it's just what she loves to do. It's what she lives for and is her literal heart. That is her priority. And age is nothing but a number when it comes down to what you really want, your purpose and what you want to do in this life. And this theater and the arts is her purpose, her atoms in her bones.
I mean, she has her own theater. She continues to do shows. She has a calendar at her age that she has been following and producing and creating and welcoming like a magnet artists from all over the world that have come here. So somewhere in that is a tremendous legacy.
The most important thing you can do is to make life more enjoyable, more livable, and more important while you're still here. And that's what this theater does.
You know, that's why you should build the theater.
That's all for this local treasure. Find out more about TNC at theaterforthenewcity.net. See you next time.